Can you, listening now, if you don't have discipline or this strength of character, can you actually become like Goggins?
And that's all I want people to do, is realize that you have to struggle. You have to struggle. The bigger the struggle, the bigger the peace. The bigger the suffering, the more peace.
This mindset is obtainable, and it's obtainable to everyone. So over 2,000 years ago, there was a prince, and he was born into luxury. And his father, the king, wanted to protect the prince. He wanted to give him the most perfect life. So naturally, the father looked after him, and he protected the prince, the young prince, from all kinds of suffering. So the prince was born into luxury, protected from everything. He didn't see death, he didn't see suffering, he didn't see struggle, he didn't see poverty, he didn't see crime, he didn't see any of these things. And this young prince grew up to become sad and develop a sickness within his mind. Now, this young prince was called Siddhartha Gautama. And one day, this prince broke out of the palace walls and went to see what life was like outside of this luxury. And the young prince seen suffering. He's seen a young beggar. He's seen a dead person on the streets. And naturally, he became angry at his father for hiding this from him. And he came to the conclusion that the reason he was sad is because he didn't suffer. He didn't have any suffering in his life. So the young prince went out, left his luxuries behind, and he suffered. He suffered a great deal, and he purposely suffered. And somewhere along the lines, he realized that suffering wasn't the answer to happiness, but it was somewhere in between, and that suffering was inevitable. Suffering is a fact of life, and suffering is the key to growth. Because without suffering, we will never grow. We stagnate and we become weak. And we need strength to grow in this life. And that young prince became the Buddha. So the Stoics have this concept, or Epictetus has this concept, and I'll read it from the Discourses, Book 3. The wand of Hermes promises that whatever you touch will turn to gold. For my part, I can say, bring what challenges you please, and I will turn it to good account. Bring illness, death, poverty, slander, a judgment of death. They will all be converted to advantage by my wand of Hermes. What good will you get from death? I will make it your glory, or the occasion for you to show how a person obeys the will of nature. What will you make of illness? I will expose its true nature by outdoing myself in calmness and serenity. I will neither beg the doctor's help nor pray for death. What more could you ask? Everything you see that you throw at me, I will transform into a blessing, a boon, something dignified, even enviable. So this idea from the Stoics is that we can turn all suffering into gold. Quick interruption and then we'll get straight back to the lesson. This will be 10 seconds, but I just want to say that today's lesson was powered by Huel, which is a product that I personally recommend and a product that I personally consume. If you want to learn more about Huel, then wait till the end of the video. Back to it. And this is something I've been thinking a lot recently after I read Donald Robertson's book on Socrates. And Socrates said that he liked to be wrong, that a good argument is the one where you're wrong, which is strange. Everyone wants to be right. But this is the same for suffering in life. Everyone is avoiding suffering. We're all running from suffering. But the only way to grow is to go through the suffering. And this is what David Goggins is talking about. And if you can switch this mindset of running from suffering, because you cannot outrun suffering. If you keep running, the suffering is just following you. And by doing this, by always running and never facing the suffering, never facing the pain, never facing the difficulty, you become weak, like the prince became weak, but the suffering still exists. So now you're a weak person that cannot face life's sufferings. Because suffering, as the Buddhists understood, is a fact of life. And the Stoics understood this. Most philosophers and philosophies explain that suffering is just a fact of life. So it will exist no matter what we do. You have a perfect life, you will suffer in some way. You have a crappy life, you'll suffer in some way. So the kind of concept is to be a warrior in the garden rather than a gardener at war. If you can fortify your mind and prepare yourself at all times, sharpen your blade and test your skills when there is no war, so when the war comes you're ready. Because being at war is a terrible time to be able to practice because you're so enveloped in everything. And this is life. In times of peace, when you're not suffering, when you're not struggling, it's a good time to develop these skills, because when you're going through the struggles and you are drowning, it's hard to learn how to swim. So this concept that I think made Goggins the person he is to embrace the suffering, embrace the pain, and face it. I'm not going to say seek it. I'm not saying seek the suffering, but embrace it at all times. When it's there, you embrace it, you accept it, and you think, what can I get from this? So this wand of Hermes, it has many faces. Number one from the Stoics is this concept, amor fati, which is the love of one's fate. And this idea, as the Stoics understood, the ancient Stoics, is that life happens as it does. We're dealt the hand that is given to us. And I know many people don't believe this, but if you lose your job, or it rains, or there's an accident, or there's a storm, whatever there is, this thing has happened. The past is the past and it's happened and you can't change the past. So once the past has happened, the only way to move forward from that is to accept it as it is, because to resist it, to regret it, anything like that, is to fight the waves. It's pointless because you can never change what has happened. But the Stoics saw it as you love what has happened and you make the best of it. Because there is always another side to each coin. And this is the wand of Hermes, turn struggles into gold. Because as Epictetus is talking previously in this discourse, is that a rude person, he doesn't blame them, he isn't angry at them, he's thankful for them, because he can learn patience, he can learn empathy, he can learn these lessons that he would never learn if they didn't exist. Because these challenges in life can teach us things. I remember hearing a story about a guy was saying, you know, if you wanted strength and you said to God, I want strength, I want to be a strong person, I want to be an empathetic person, I want to be a patient person. God doesn't just hand those things out. God hands you the obstacles so that you can learn these things. God will hand you rude people so you can learn empathy or patience. God will hand you challenges so you can learn strength of character, so you can learn all these things. It's like if you want to get strong in the gym, you don't just get strong, you increase your weight, you increase the load, you get stronger and stronger each day. And that is like life. With sufferings and struggles. It's why, you know, we see these incredible people that seem to be calm in the most difficult of situations. They seem to find the gold in everything. It's times where most people will crumble, they find the gold. It's because most of these people, they either understand this concept, or in life they've already been through these struggles, they've grown from these struggles, they've gone through, or they've gone over the hill, and now they can help other people over this hill. So in order, like Goggins says, is you get this big suffering, you get these big struggles, you turn them into gold. And, you know, the way in which Goggins did it, he sought out discomfort. And the Stoics talk about this, seeking discomfort and voluntary discomfort. Because in life, you know, it's nice to feel comfortable, it's nice to have a relaxed life, it's nice to be at peace, and people think this is the goal. I go through all the struggles and I can finally relax and be at peace. But the suffering's always there. So if you go through this peace right now, you're relaxing and you think you owe it to yourself to just relax and be peaceful and be calm and have an easy life, you'll grow weak, or you'll not grow, you will actually shrink, you become weaker and weaker, you deteriorate. And you fall into this sedentary life. And you know, they say good times make strong men make good times. No, Bad times make strong men make good times make weak men. It's true in a sense that if you go through ease all your life, like the Buddha, he had an easy life, his inner character never grew. So, he started to suffer from within. And if you never grow your character, then life, when it hands you these difficulties, you're going to struggle massively. You will never develop the tools to cope with life, with the suffering that's handed to you. Because suffering is just, it's for everyone. Life, the universe is suffering. It's hard. So you can never remove the suffering. So what you do is you grow yourself as a character through the suffering. You go through the difficulties, through the struggles. You purposely do difficult things like cold baths, fasting, working out, challenges. You have the hard conversations. You reflect on the difficult things in your life, because what we do in life, and some people going to the gym is easy. For some people, self-help is easy. And if it's easy for you, then it's not a difficult thing. That makes sense. Like the story of Diogenes embracing the bronze statue in the winter. He's hugging it, it's freezing cold. The Spartan warrior says to him, "Diogenes, do you not feel anything?" And Diogenes says, "No, I feel nothing." And the Spartan warrior says, "Well, what's so impressive about that then?" And it's true, for some people, working out is easy. For some people, fasting's easy. So don't just do the thing that you find easy, like, I'm just going to work out. William says, if I work out, I'll develop my strength of character. Yeah, it's still a beneficial thing. I'm not saying don't work out, but you have to do the things you don't want to do that you know is best for you. And in the book I was reading on Socrates by Donald Robertson, he's saying most people, it's like a confectioner. They hand you out sweets. So these self-help gurus, they hand you out sweets, and it seems nice, easy, it's palatable. You go, I keep taking it, keep taking it. You're reading these books to improve yourself. But if it sounds sweet to you, then it's probably not that beneficial. Medicine, the bitter medicine is the medicine that helps. So we have to seek out the hard challenges. And through this, we will grow more than we can ever imagine. You have to face your weaknesses, and this is how you grow. So number one, we see life. There's two sides to the coin. You're given a challenge, and you do the equation. You say to yourself, I have this challenge. What is the benefit I can get from this challenge? And then you seek to get over this obstacle and get the benefit. The benefit is your character. You grow from these challenges. You grow from difficulties and confusion. Through confusion, you develop wisdom and knowledge. Through challenges, you grow strength of character. So next time you're going through these things, just think, what am I going to learn from this? How can I get over this? How can I not run away? Running away will make you weak. And like I say, you cannot outrun life's problems. So seek these things. And don't seek these things. Embrace these things. Embrace these struggles, embrace these challenges, and know that there is another side to the coin. Then the other thing is work upon your weaknesses. David Goggins, he was lazy. He was very lazy, which is hard to believe. He was very, very lazy, unmotivated. So for him to be motivated and to discipline is to oppose him. This is the opposite of David Goggins. He was super lazy. He said, I'm going to become Goggins, the complete opposite of this. And that's what you have to be. If you are lazy, then you devise a plan that opposes this. It gets you out of your comfort zone. And that is the goal. We need to keep getting out of the comfort zone, and we grow and grow and grow, and we expand our comfort zone. And it's odd to think that David Goggins doesn't have those lazy tendencies in him. He doesn't lack that discipline. I'm not saying he's like perfect. He's got his own life problems, and he's got his own things that he might have to deal with. But that laziness that was ruining his life, that lack of discipline and motivation that was ruining his life, does not exist. Because every day he stepped out of that comfort zone, and he pushed it to ridiculous heights. So, number one, amor fati. See the other side of the coin. Number two, write down on a piece of paper your name, who you are, or in your phone, your notebook, and write down your weaknesses. And try be really honest with yourself. What are your weaknesses? Maybe, you're not confident in social situations, maybe you lack discipline, maybe you lack motivation, maybe you're always on your phone, maybe you're slightly selfish, maybe you're slightly rude. You write down all your weaknesses, all the things that are bad about you, and you work on them. This is the fastest way to obtain the gold from the struggle, because working on your weaknesses is the last thing people want to do. Facing your shadow is one of the hardest challenges you can do in life, but this is where the growth is found, through facing your shadow, looking it face to face and working with it, developing upon all your weaknesses so you don't have these weaknesses anymore. Because the thing is, in life, you could develop your discipline, but if you lack some other part of your character, then the struggles of life, the suffering of life will fall upon your weakness. You can't get through life with one strength. You have to develop all these things so you become a warrior in a garden. So amor fati, see the other side of the coin and work upon your weaknesses. And I believe this is what Goggins did. He went headfirst into his weaknesses. He said he was a lazy, unmotivated. He was, all these things, and this affected his self-worth, everything. It affected how much he loved himself, all these problems. And he just completely did the opposite. He made this alter ego, Goggins, and he just went headfirst and became the opposite of who he was. Most people are scared to become another person because we think we're going against our character, we think we're doing something wrong. We think it's shameful to face our shadow and to face our weaknesses. This is where the greatest strength is. This is where the gold is found. It's found in the dirt. So start going through that dirt, sifting through. It'll help drastically. Another news, I recently had a podcast with Donald Robertson. It was a really great talk. I'm really excited to share that. The last one, everyone loved it. And I'm sure this one's just as good. I really like talking to Donald. And, what else is going on? My book is still on sale, it will be. If you want to hear more about Stoicism, something I've been... My book, I wrote it because there's many reasons I wrote it. I thought it would help people in terms of self-help wise. I thought it would really help, and that's the feedback I've got. It's really helped. But something that surprised me that I didn't expect from my book, and maybe it's the way I explain things, because I have a different understanding of things. I don't have this academic background. I learned these things from the ground up, when I was labouring as a bricklayer, bricky labourer. And loads of people have said, I tried to learn Stoicism, didn't get Stoicism. Then I read this book, William's book, The Everyday Stoic, Simple Rules for a Good Life, and I get Stoicism. It's the perfect introduction to Stoicism. I never really thought that about my book, but I suppose it is a really good introduction to Stoicism. If you're thinking about reading the discourses or meditations or any of the Stoics, I think my book is a good introduction, and it's short. The audiobook, it's 4 hours long. I read it, and I believe, on Audible you can get a free trial on Audible. It comes with a free book. If that's the case, I'll leave the link in the description if that's still an offer. Because if it is still offer, I really recommend it. You can get Audible for free, and you get a free book, and it's just good. That's how I love Audible, because I do love reading hard copies when I can, but when I'm on the bus, I'm on a walk, I'm on a run, I'm working out, I'm washing up over there, I'm tidying up, anything, I can just listen to the audiobook. So I found I read 3 times as much books now because I'm reading by hand, I'm listening, and it's brilliant. So if that offer's still there, just check the link in the description. If it's still there, you're in for a treat, and you can get my book for free, the audiobook. And also, anyone that's read the book, this is really helpful. Anyone that's read the book, please can you leave a review of the book on Amazon or wherever you've read it, wherever you consumed it. Just leave a review. It's very helpful, and I'm loving reading the reviews, but that would be it would mean a lot to me if you could leave a review and let me know what you think of the book. And if you want more, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, just Instagram, at The Everyday Stoic, or at William Mulligan Brother. I share Stoicism and other stuff. So thank you for listening, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Today's lesson was powered by Huel. If you, like me and many other people around the world, just living busy lives, struggle to get in your daily nutrition, then Huel Black Edition is a game changer. Most products that support daily nutrition are just packed full of low quality ingredients, but not Huel Black Edition. Each serving delivers 40 grams of plant-based protein, along with 26 essential vitamins and minerals, all carefully selected by Huel's expert nutritionists. Huel Black Edition also supports energy, recovery, focused digestion, and your immune system without the need for extra supplements or spending unnecessary time and money. I implement Huel into my daily life, especially the daily greens each morning, because I like them as part of my routine. I like the taste, I like the health benefits that I feel, and it's quick, easy. And it stops me reaching for those unhealthy snacks and spending unnecessary money and time on unhealthy snacks and fulfilling these cravings. But don't just take my word for it. People like Idris Elba, Diary of a CEO Stephen Bartlett, and Russ Cook, the first guy to run across the full length of Africa, they all use Huel as part of their daily routine. So if you're ready to invest in your health, go to the link in the description for exclusive offers such as signing up for their subscription service, which will get you 10% off all future orders. And if it's your first time ordering, you get a free shaker and t-shirt. Thank you for listening to today's video. I hope this lesson was helpful. And I do believe in you. I believe in everyone. I do believe that you can change your life and your mindset and the way you're living. I believe that you could, if you want to, develop the discipline and strength of character like David Goggins, if that's what you're aiming for. I don't think that's necessary to live a happy life. I really don't. But I do believe in you. And I think if you don't believe in yourself, then just comment, and I'm going to help you the best I can. I'll keep delivering these lessons because I want to help you just to ultimately be happier and better people. I think it makes the world a better place. So as long as you invest your time into listening and learning and applying these lessons, then I'll invest my time into learning, reading, teaching, so that we can help each other. Thank you, and just have a good day.